Hey everybody, this is Lorelia, and today I wanted to talk about money versus assets. Which one do you think is better at building wealth? The information I'm going to share with you, I've got a lot of this information from some authors that I've studied. For example, like T. Harv Eker, he created the book called The Millionaire Mind, and Robert Kiyosaki, and I've read a lot of other information from other individuals as well. So I don't want you to think that I'm kind of just making this information up, but it is to give you my theory on what I'm doing to be able to create wealth for myself. And so I want to ask you, which one do you think is a better vehicle for building wealth? Do you think it's physical money, cash, or do you think it's an asset? And I ask this question whenever I do my workshops, and most people will say that cash is king. Cash is the best way to build wealth. And my answer is, well, no, not really, because cash is really the lowest form of wealth. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, cash can be used to be able to exchange for things that you want. I get that. But let me ask you this question. If I gave you $1 and you put that dollar away under your pillow or in your, in a safe or what have you, and I came back in 90 days, how much money would you have? I want to ask you that. How much money would you have? You would only have $1. And the same thing if it was $100 bill. All you would have is $100. And so the point that I'm making is that a lot of times cash itself does not multiply into more money. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, can you buy something and be able to resell it to be able to multiply it into money? Yes, you can. But I like to focus on assets. Now, don't get me wrong. There's no right or wrong answer. You have to do what's best for you. And once again, what I found with studying these individuals as well as studying other people, I prefer to create assets that can generate money for me. What do I mean by that? Because keep in mind, you gotta be able to get the money. Now, of course, when I used the example, that was an easy example. If I gave you $1, but what about if you didn't have the dollar? How would you be able to get it? And that's why assets is more, for me, more important, because this is what I know. This physical book right here, this is an asset. Once I created this book, this began a business, which became Prosperity Publishing, which is right here. Prosperity Publishing not only creates a book, which is an asset, which can generate money, but there's also a CD version of it. This has now multiplied into many things. So this one book became an asset which can produce income, which can produce money. Not only is it a book, it's a CD, it's a workshop, it's an online course, it's an audio series. All those things will be made up into many forms of assets which can generate money. See, most people, when they think about assets, they think about hard assets, physical assets that you have to go out and buy. Most people don't know that you can actually create your own asset for less than $100. For me to create this book is less than $100. Now, don't get me wrong. If I order a lot of books, will that be more than $100? Of course. But to create one book was less than $100. So that's why I always tell people, focus on creating assets that can generate money. Because if you ever are in lack and you need money, you have an asset that can produce money for you. This book sells on Amazon. I like the idea of knowing that every month Amazon sends me money via the internet, deposited into my account, or sends me a physical check. That's income. This right here, someone buys this, money goes into my PayPal. If I'm at a seminar or doing a workshop, I can sell these right there live, and I can generate money. So when you think about assets, consider what is it that you can create that can generate income for you. Now, for me, I've always told people the easiest way is to be able to use your intellectual property, which is your brain, and create some type of book. If you're not ready for a book, create a blog. See, a lot of people don't know that a blog is an online asset. A blog is just not some information on a computer. That's what most people think. See, I look at blogging as an online asset. I own that. I pay for hosting every month. I bought the domain that I renew every year, and that is an asset. That is content that I created, which multiplies into many forms, and it generates money for me. Now, this video is not to go into the different ways that the blog can generate money. I will go into that in another video. But the point that I'm making is that an online asset is one of the fastest ways to be able to create an asset for yourself. Because, see, most people are intimidated by a book. They're not ready. I'm not ready to write a book, really. But see, most people are free or open to sharing their ideas on a blog. And so that's why I always tell people, start to look at your blog as a piece of real estate that you purchased. Remember, you've paid for the hosting. You've paid for the domain. This is something you've invested in. Now, I'm not going to go into free versus paid. I have a video for that, and I may just put a link under this video. But the point of the video is that this video is to talk about which is a better wealth building vehicle, physical money or assets. Like I said, in order to get physical money, you still need someone to be able to, you still need to be able to get it out of a person's hand and into your hands. And most people only know the only way to produce money is a job. I, on the other hand, will prefer creating an asset. This asset can always produce money for me over and over and over and over. And for me, that is the wealth building vehicle that serves me best. So my question is for you. If you're serious about building wealth, how will you do it? What will you do? What I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to share some links under this video. And if you're someone who is interested in saying, okay, I want to create my own online asset, how can I get started with blogging? I'll have some information under this video that can show you and I can share with you what I'm doing. Am I a millionaire? Nope. Am I a 7 or 8 figure earner? No, I'm not. But I am someone who have studied and I apply the teachings that I'm learning. And all I do is share it with others. So if you're interested in me sharing my information with you, all my information will be in this video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.